Combat in Kings of Men revolves around 8 different stances from which the player can attack or defend from. While holding the left mouse button down, the player can easily and fluidly switch between the various 8 different stances. The stance does not have to exactly match the enemy player's attacking stance, but rather the general direction. By releasing the left mouse button, the player commences their attacking swing. This swing can be cancelled at any time by clicking the right mouse button. Combat is a lot more than just attack and defend. Of the utmost importance is footwork and positioning. There are 4 different scenarios that you will find yourself in: 1v1, 1v many, many v1, and a big brawl with many against each other. What to look for and how to position yourself will vary depending on which of these scenarios you are in. The best way to win a one-on-one is to get around your opponent's block and hit them from the side or behind where they are unable to block. To do this, always be on the move and moving from side to side, looking for an opportunity to be able to get around your opponent. When they strike, if they miss, try to get around that side so that they are open. If you are unable to get around your opponent by sheer footwork, try using a well-timed bash using the Q key with your shield or with the hilt of your weapon. Or try and kick them, but don't leave yourself open because both of these maneuvers will leave you open to a counter-attack and should therefore be used only sparingly. Being able to block well is the most important in one-on-ones. And finally, twisting and spinning into an attack can put your opponent off, creating an opening for you to get that winning strike. But be very cautious because this also exposes your back and side, and against a good player will be the end of you. With 1 versus many, you can go full Berserker mode, just hacking and slashing to your heart's content. You'll still have to block somewhat, but nowhere near as much as in the other situations. One important part to watch out for when in a 1 versus many is to not get surrounded or have people at your back within striking range of you. If you get into such a situation, you're pretty much gone unless you can quickly get out of it. Ideally, you'll want to twist and turn through the enemy, getting them all confused and in a bunch so that when they're hacking and slashing, they're actually hitting each other rather than yourself. In these situations, the enemy is more hesitant, trying to avoid team hits and team kills. If you continually switch which enemy you strike, you'll find that in general they're all a little bit less defensive, as they're more focused on avoiding each other and hitting you when you've got your back to them, rather than being in a defensive posture waiting for your attack. With many versus 1, if you have a relatively stationary enemy, you should aim to get behind them, or enable one of your teammates to get behind them, so that one of you have open shots and can down him very easily. If you have an enemy who is swerving a lot and moving in and out between you all, causing a bit of chaos, then you should try to preempt where he's going to be next, and then meet him and stop him dead in his track so that you can surround him and kill him. As for formations when dealing with a single opponent with multiple allies, try establish a triangle around him if there's 3 of you, and if there's only 2 of you, 1 at the front and 1 at the back. Definitely don't want to have more than 3 people, otherwise you're just getting in the way of each other. Whilst waiting for your striking opportunity, always remain in a defensive stance in case the trapped enemy attempts to twist or turn really quickly and strike you unawares. And for the love of God, please don't team hit and team kill. Wait for that perfect opportunity where you have an open shot at him and take it safely, otherwise you're just doing his job for him. With the many versus many engagement, the defensive team usually makes a formation such as a shield wall, but that soon breaks down after the initial contact. and it erupts into just this big brawl within a small area. Whilst in a dense formation, you should endeavour to use your stance lock function, left control button. This button locks the attack stance that you will do, such as a stab or an overhead chop, so that you can get the best positioning to line that attack up. This minimises the chance of team hits and allows the formation to hold for longer. Once the brawl phase breaks out, try to keep your back towards your allies and get in behind the enemies very quickly, get a shot in, and then get back so that you can have your back towards your allies. It's very easy to get sucked further into the enemy lines where you can be quickly outnumbered and killed. I hope this guide was of some use to you as you take your first slashes and stabs in of Kings of Men. Happy slaughter, and until next time.